All type of business, including media industry, the reason why they stop to innovate is because they find no opportunity to be successful. Government believe that to open the opportunity for the local industry, we need to give affirmative action because for too long they are disadvantaged and underprivileged. That is why government want to set the minimum quota for local content media to fight against more privileged industry. Yes, they pay tax, but the fact that they are coming from the countries that make them easier to generate capital for their own industry is precisely the reason why we judge them as more privileged community. I have two issues to be discussed in today's motion. Firstly, will the dominance of foreign content benefits the domestic, just like what opposition want to assume? But secondly, will our proposal being accepted by general society? So pursuing to the first issue, will the dominance of foreign content benefits the domestic? Opposition told you that the foreign media in itself give added value, like it incentivizes the local to innovate more, and they also assume that without foreign industry, then local industry will be leisure. Three layers. Firstly, we don't think so. We believe that foreign industry is not an added value to the local industry. It is a zero-sum game. The dominance of foreign content lessens the exposure of local media. For example, we only have 24 hours per day for the airtime. In our world, because we set the minimum quota for the domestic content, thus foreign content will have more limited time, i.e. for example, like from 16 hours to 10 hours per day. Thus, we think that it significantly gives benefit to the local content media, ladies and gentlemen. But secondly, when they told you that it will trigger the innovation for the local industry, that might be true, but that is not mutually exclusive in their side of the house. Because as a professional local producer, for example, you can still work together with foreign producer, or you can still find like foreign media exposure in internet and whatsoever, in which we to find more inspiration and whatsoever, in which we think that it could happen even in our world. But lastly, will they be lazy because minimum foreign content? Definitely not, because what triggered them to innovate as a local media industry is the existence of market, which is the local society. They want profit from the society. Thus, as long as we have society demanding for innovative content, so we don't think that they will be lazy at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. That is why on the first issue in regards to foreign movie will give added value to the domestic media content, we don't think so. And the existence of foreign content will only counterproductive to the world that we want as the government team. They also told you that there is in status quo we have segmentation of market, so it will not exclusively hamper the innovation of local media, because in status quo we have segmentation of markets such as horror, those who love horror movie, romance movie, thriller, adventure, and whatsoever. We understand that market segmentation exists, but precisely because society are segmented and we could identify this segmentation, then it opens the opportunity for our proposal to be more successful. This domestic industry could innovate in horror, romance, and etc., and in which the demand exists. So for example, if they fail in horror industry, then they can switch their own preference to make romance movie, for example, or thriller movie, or adventure movie, and whatsoever. So there is still a possibility in which this local industry will innovate and can still fulfill the demand of this segmented society. First, clash to the government team. Secondly, let's talk about will our proposal will be accepted by the society. So the main contribution from opposition in regards to this issue is about the people are rational enough to their own preference. Thus, it is less likely for the society to be able to change their own preference by our motion. Two things. Firstly, there is a big difference between rational society and stubborn society. When we talk about the rational society, they prefer to one thing most of the time is because the benefit that they achieve they could achieve over this option would overwhelm the cost, for example, or they are fully exposed with all the alternative that exists in status quo. So at the moment when we find we as a rational people find new options due to more exposure in our world, then as a rational voter, you will recalculate the benefit and the cost, ladies and gentlemen. So there is still a possibility for a rational society to change their own preference, given the fact that in our world we have proven to you that this local media content could innovate and could fulfill the demand of society. So, just like study case of India that they try to glorify, that is the reason the reason why Bollywood continuously innovate in their own country is because even Indian government give excessive exposure and opportunity to the local content media. Things like financial support to the local content media, things such as higher tax for foreign content media happen. So that scenario is precisely what we want as a government team. So that is why we think that our proposal most likely will be accepted by the society. But even if in our worst case scenario, ladies and gentlemen, then society will dislike this domestic content, right? Two things. Firstly, we believe that it will only be a short-term scenario. Like when we talk about media, ladies and gentlemen, or movie industry, they will always establish a platform for the society or any viewers to give a feedback and critics to the domestic contents. We have social media. They also have their own social media. We also have websites such as IMDb, for example, to give critics review and ratings and etc. In which that this platform could be used by our local media and movie industry to innovate and to identify the demand of the local society, ladies and gentlemen. We also told you that the exclusive nature of media, regardless of whether you are domestic or foreign media content, is about the adaptability, your adaptability. They are able to be adaptable with the changes and society demand. Because most of the time, the reasons are simple. Because most of the time, those who involve in entertainment industry already have bunch of experience, not only to entertain but also to create a diverse type of movie, given the fact that they have understand about the segmented demand of society. So if society no longer have interest in romantic movie, then they could be adaptable to find another type of movie. So that is why we think that there is still a possibility in which that these local media content will be able to satisfy the public. But here's the trade-off that we are ready to take. We are completely okay when society are less satisfied by media in our world in comparison to their world in which that foreigner dominate our own media. Why? Because their happiness is constructed by the foreign movie and media. This is dangerous. Not only it is dangerous for government and domestic media, but it is also dangerous for us as a local citizens. The liberation to determine their own preference, like someone that they need to idolize, will be hampered in their side of the house. Because in their best case scenario, local society will be brainwashed by the existence of foreign media. Yes, in our world, we may finally set the standard due to the local physical appearance that will be dominant in our side of the house. But comparatively, our side is better because there will be a less people in our side that will be victimized due to their inability to similarize their own physical appearance with the others, in comparison to your side that people have to be white and whatsoever, in which that not all people are born with such nature. The motion stand. Thank you.